And it says, we are live. It is Thursday night. I'm here. You're beautiful. That must mean that it is time for GotBot Goes Live. I, of course, am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, a.k.a. GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And while you're at it, light on my baby. Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. And it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links, all of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And tonight, we're going to cover my reactions to all of the news coming out of the big live stream that we had on Tuesday. A lot of people have already reacted to it. We'll do it here tonight. We're going to talk about some interesting notes from the recently revealed, I guess, bio cards for Rise of the Beast. I guess they're like digital bio cards. Of course, there's been a continuous stream of Rise of the Beast news. We're going to kind of overview it. I'm not going into like every TV spot and whatnot. I mean, they're TV spots, right? They're basically showing the same thing, although there was one specific point of interest. We're going to talk about Newage and something that they're offering that's unique. We're going to talk about Dr. Wu. We're going to talk about yogurt, and we're even going to touch on KFC, not Keith's Fantasy Club. I mean, the chicken and what they're doing with Transformers. We'll talk about all of that in a few minutes. I'm just going to get things set up. While I do, as a matter of fact, we're going to do a moment of silence for the late, great superstar Billy Graham. For those of you who don't know, superstar Billy Graham was an iconic wrestler, really around the same time as Bruno Sammartino and the Iron Sheik, and a very young Hulk Hogan, a man who Ric Flair, and I think most people, whether you're a wrestling fan or not, I think everybody knows who Ric Flair is, has really tied superstar Billy Graham with Dusty Rhodes as like his hero. So like Ric Flair's hero, or one of them, was superstar Billy Graham. If you don't know the superstar Billy Graham, you definitely know some of the, I guess, characters that he influenced, such as maybe Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, such as Jesse Ventura, such as arguably the greatest of all time, just because of how much he revolutionized the business in the ring. He definitely was not greatest of all time. The immortal Hulk Hogan, all based their persona, their look, their physique, their swagger on Billy Graham. He's had a lot of health issues as of late. His wife was like constantly kind of giving updates to Wayne. Wayne Coleman, I think, is his real name. Anyway, yesterday he passed away. One of the greats, for anybody who's a fan, one of the greats. So while I'm getting things set up, we'll do a quick little moment of silence for the late, great superstar Billy Graham. Let's see here. I know you guys are coming in. I'll catch up with you in just a moment. Bear with me just a second. I'm going to take this in my hands as well as this. Hey, Sovereign. Happy to see you, buddy. Early, yeah, a little bit early for once, or I was a minute or two late. Either way, it works out. Hey, Caldeo. Hello, Anthony. The bicycle bell. Yeah, man. Yeah. Right? It's the bicycle bell. I love it. Hey, Ultra Megatronus, Waspinator, Goldberg, you're number one. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Goldberg had his heyday. You know, he came in late from football, but he made the most of his time for sure. You know, best worker? No, not at all. But man, oh man, Goldberg, even to this day, like the dude looks like a gladiator, right? Right? Hulk, Flares, Roddy Pipers, you know? I mean, the precursor to that whole era would have been superstar Billy Graham. You know, he was like, honestly, he was kind of even before my time in terms of being an in-ring competitor, right? Like, I knew him more as like a manager role because he had really, by the time I was old enough to really understand what I was watching, I mean, he was pretty much done with his in-ring career. But I mean, he influenced some of the biggest names. He was so flamboyant for the time and so athletic for the time, right? Like, he hung out with, like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger and those guys, right? Like, that's the way that that dude trained, right? I hope for his sake that his soul does rest at peace. Yeah, he was definitely a big muscle wrestler. Hey Albert, hey Liebert. WCW, yeah, he was major there. Yeah. All right, let's get into while we're all here. I'm not going to split any ears. I'm going to talk about it right away because I know people are going to bring it up right away. So let's jump right into it. At least in the US. I can't so much speak for Canada yet because I haven't really, let me just adjust that a little bit. I haven't really seen it yet. However, I do know that up on Amazon, and as was revealed on Tuesday, we have not one but two packs. The first is the Rise of Tyranny 2-pack with Minor Megatron and Senator Rat Bat. So, I mean, Minor Megatron is based, of course, on the Siege mold. Great mold. The new one has a new head. It has a new chest. Instead of the fusion cannon, he has a shorter piece with the, I don't know, drill, I guess, up in it. And he has a pickaxe. The pickaxe can go on the side, or it can kind of go into the drill, which I think is the way I would do it because it almost looks like the drill is coming out from a crossbow. It looks really cool. I don't think I'm going to get it because it's an IDW thing. You know, it's not my thing. It's not my version of Megatron. Like, if I go back to the G1 cartoon, the first time that we see Megatron, well, I can't say the first time we see Megatron. In the past, the first time when Dion and Orion Pax and them see Megatron, like, he still looks like this, and he's flying. So, I mean, this is what works for me. But I do think that they're using a solid mold. I love the look of it. I think that the colors that they're choosing are splendid. If you're an IDW fan, if it is like your precursor Megatron, man, go for it. Absolutely go for it. Of course, he comes with Senator Ratbat, and Senator Ratbat is basically this mold. Now, to me, Ratbat will always be the little bat, and I get it. There's like an explanation in the comics of like how he lost his big body and became the little cassette guy and whatnot, right? But to me, this is all I've ever known Ratbat as. I don't know this Senator Ratbat. However, he is based on this mold, the Scourge Sweep Alpha Trion mold. It's a splendid mold. I think it works well for Senator Ratbat. I really do, even though he doesn't turn into a bat. But I think it works quite well for that character based on the little bit that I know of his look. That said, I've always thought that the character model for Senator Ratbat looks like a purple Serpentor. Like, every time I see it, I'm like, it's just Serpentor. Except now, instead of being gold and green, he's like yellow and mostly purple, right? Nothing against it. I have nothing against it. I think that for two Voyagers in a set, I don't even know what it retails for, but for two Voyagers in a set, they are both solid Voyagers. They are both, more importantly, true Voyagers. They have the mass, they have the engineering, they're solid, they're not very hollow really anywhere. Good. I support it. It's not for me, but I support the set. Then, besides for the Rise of Tyranny set, we have another one. And the other one is a little more peculiar with Humble Origins. And it's really a set comprised of Orion Pax and Senator Shockwave. Though, admittedly, Shockwave being all red, white, and blue, I mean, I'm like, I've seen a few images and stuff of Senator Shockwave, but I haven't seen that particular color scheme. Here's what I do know. I do know that Senator Shockwave was kind of renowned for changing his color scheme a lot. And I do know that he ended up undergoing Impurata, and that's why we have this guy. That said, This is the only look for Shockwave I know. This is the only look for Shockwave I care about. I look at Senator Shockwave in this set and I'm like, nothing about it says Shockwave to me. It's just a nondescript siege seeker body that doesn't have wings. It's just a weird flying chunk, right? It's not for me. Great mold. Great mold. And if you're into the comics and you know that like pre-war Senator Shockwave, hey, cool. And of course he comes with Orion Pax, who I think is they say data clerk, but honestly, isn't he an officer in, I could be wrong, but I thought in IDW he was an officer, and like I thought the whole reason that he had a relationship with Shockwave is because like he came into the Senate and arrested some guys, or came in and made it like a big deal and stuff, and Shockwave was impressed or something. I don't know the story because I'm not an IDW fan in the slightest. But if you are, I think the Hound mold is fine. This is my Orion Pax. Like to me, this is what I remember. This is very, very close to the cartoon, and that's why that's the Orion Pax for me. But I understand it's not going to be the Orion Pax for everyone. I hope that you like this one more. A lot of people have said, including Evan, that this body is still stylized and maybe a more accurate body type will come later. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what he looks like in the comics. I don't know how accurate or inaccurate it is. I do know that the Hound mold is a fine mold. There's nothing wrong with the Hound mold. I dig it. It's just, I mean, a couple of people asked, are you getting the sets? No, do you know me at all? I'm not even slightly an IDW fan. I don't think they ever should have had the license. Like, I don't like what they did with the fiction at all. It's not for me. However, I think the molds are tremendous. And if you are a fan of the fiction, and that is your iterations of the characters, then man, get it. Why not? I love the pre-war stuff. Like I have the, I guess, what is it? Hero Shall Rise or whatever it's called. The Alpha Trion and Orion G1 cartoon set, and I love it. I have the Dion and Ariel set, and I love it. These two are obviously geared for people that have a pull to the comics, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, cool, get it. I think that they're great molds. I support it. Don't have to be for me. Then something interesting. One of the packages we saw a peculiar shadowy figure, and immediately the rumor mill started going that it was going to be a version of this guy, Nova Prime. This is my custom Nova Prime from the Battle Corps Optimus. If you've seen any of Universal Collision, you know he's one of the 4 main primes in it. And like, I think I wanted to use a Nova, and I didn't have at the time a means to get the MMC version, though that thing's splendid. And I saw some people doing some customs with this guy. Now I know you can get the what is it, SND kit, I think it is, that you can put on. You got to pop pins and stuff for that. I'm not a pin popping guy, but if you went that route, cool. There's nothing wrong with this. It's great. This works for me because, again, I'm not super tied to the character. I just think he looks cool, and I do like his somewhat vicious backstory. We'll say somewhat vicious backstory, right? Spoiler: I don't use him as Nemesis. But I always said that if we ever get like a proper version, man, I think I'm going to be in for it. Well, while we had the shadowy image, we did very shortly after get an actual listing. So we know, yep, there is a listing. It is part of that Amazon capsule. So basically what we have is the 2-pack with Megatron and Ratbat, the 2-pack with Orion Pax and Shockwave. There is another 2-pack. We don't know what's going to be in that yet. Nacelle will also come out in that subline, I suppose, as will now Nova Prime. That apparently is going to be a reworked version of the, I guess, the Siege Ultra Magnus mold. Actually, to be more precise, it'll be a reworked version of the Siege Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime version. And you know what? I remember when I first saw that and looked at the chests and stuff, and I said to myself, I feel like that could easily be worked into a Nova Prime. We'll see. We'll see how time plays that card. Well, it looks like we're getting it. And I, for one, am cool with it. I like that mold. I have it for the Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus, or I have the, I guess the Earthrise or Earthrise Kingdom one for that. But I reviewed the Siege one. I reviewed the Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime. Great mold. I just didn't need it because I'm not a Cybertron Armada guy or whatever. But getting that reworked as Nova Prime, yeah, I'm in for it. I'm in for it. I'm happy that there's a listing for it. They're going to be Amazon exclusives, so that's a bit of a nuisance. All of those I just said, the downside is that they're Amazon exclusives, and we all know how much of a mess those exclusives have been, for sure. We'll have to see how it plays out. Matrix Workshop, they showed off a kit for Studio Series 86 Snarl, who I love. And I recently put up the review. I put it up just Tuesday, and I even talked about how he is holding Sludge's blaster. Doesn't fit perfectly in his hand, but pretty good. Pretty good. I could squeeze it down a bit further than I did in the review, actually. And it's more snug than I thought. But if you're not happy with that, and if you've seen, for example, my upgrade kit for Sludge, the sword is a similar sword to this one. The blaster is reminiscent of like his G1 toy rather than the cartoon. Same thing here for Snarl. You'll get a different sword, more plastic G1 accurate than cartoon G1 accurate. You will get a rifle, and you will get another smaller gun. Looks more like a little rocket launcher thing. Looks a lot like Mirage's rocket launcher, actually. Neat kit, I guess. Studio Series exclusives from Takara Tomy. That's right, not one, but two Studio Series exclusives that will be tied in with Rise of the Beasts. I presume if you live in Japan and you have a ticket from Rise of the Beasts, you can use that to help secure yourself an exclusive Studio Series 38 Nemesis Prime, which we all know Studio Series 38 Optimus Prime. It's renowned. I don't see why the Nemesis Prime would not be just as renowned. As well as Burning Convoy, which is like that all red kind of translucenty version of Optimus Primal that was in Beast Wars 2, I think it was, along with Lio Convoy. Here's what's interesting. So these are Studio Series, right? So I get SS38, man. Boom, you're doing it as Nemesis. But they're using the Kingdom Optimus or the Kingdom Optimus Primal mold to do Burning Optimus Primal in the Studio Series line, when the Optimus Primal that's in the Rise of the Beast movie looks different. I feel like you would have done better to take the main line Rise of the Beast Optimus and make it premium by making it red, giving it the gold highlights. You know, I feel like if you did that, it would make more sense in the Studio Series line because it would be tied to the movie. As it is, it's a bit jarring and a bit weird because it's like, hey, go see Rise of the Beast. Then you can get this Nemesis that hasn't been in any of the movies, and you can get this version of Optimus Primal. Not the Optimus Primal that was in the movie. Not the Optimus Primal from the G-Wars CGI series that you know. Yes, that's right. The Optimus Primal that's all red and that we call Burning Convoy from Beast Wars 2. It's the weirdest thing, but they're cool. They look great. Great molds again. Wonderful molds. I don't have a problem with them. I just find it like weird. I saw it like I scratched my head and I was like, huh, neat, peculiar, neat. Let's get this out of the way. TFCon Toronto will have Venus Terzo. Is that her name? Is that how you say her name? Because I might as well note that now. Yeah, Venus Terzo. But it's also going to have Frank Tadaro. So the T's are filling up TFCon Toronto. A lot of T's there. Whole lot of T's going on. And a couple of little notes here. This is weird. So apparently in Singapore, if you like chicken and if you like KFC, so if you go to Singapore to get some Kentucky Fried Chicken, it just strikes me funny. You know where they make really good Kentucky Fried Chicken? Singapore. If you want to go to Singapore and get some Kentucky Fried Chicken, I hear that they have a crossover with Transformers. They're going to put a little Transformers twist on some of their products, and it's going to make Transformers finger licking good. Just saying. Just saying. You see that? Delicious. There's definitely some secret herbs and spices in this guy. For sure. For sure, some secret herbs and spices in Shockwave. Um, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore in life. What about yogurt? Do you enjoy yogurt? If you enjoy yogurt, you can get your Transformers Rise of the Beast branded yogurt, basically. It's a crossover with Kemp's, and the flavor is going to be their mixed berry, which I guess makes sense since they're mixing Autobots and Maximals to fight off the scourge of the Terracons and Unicron. So yeah, crossovers with KFC, crossovers with yogurt. And you know what? After eating all of that, you leave the restaurant, right? Or the grocery store, and you don't see a little, edge off of the sidewalk onto the road, and you trip and you fall down and you scrape your knee. Don't worry, Transformers got you covered there too. All you got to do is run to Target, right? Target, run and done. Is that what they say? Right? That's what it is, right? Go to Target, and then you can get yourself some adhesive bandages, and you can, cover up that cut on your knee or on your hand or whatever with the face of either Bumblebee or Optimus Prime, both of them done in kind of like a cute little chibi style. So yeah, KFC, yogurt, and adhesive bandages. Transformers, man, we'll sell our brand to anything. Whatever. You go for it, Transformers. You go for it, guys. You go for it. More Rise of the Beast news. Pops of Bumblebee, RC, Mirage, Gorilla Optimus Primal, and Scourge. Oh, and Optimus Prime. So Optimus Prime has his face plate. I feel like there should have been a little more blue above his eyes, but maybe it is true to the animation. Bumblebee looks, I think, the best out of them all, because even the YOLO Park model, even what we've seen in commercials and stuff, like the CG models and stuff, like his eyes are so huge and round and blue that they look like Pop eyes that are just huge and round and blue. RC, she looks a little angry. Mirage looks good. And then Primal looks kind of barring his teeth, angry. He's in his ape mode. I guess he looks like an angry ape. And then we have Scourge. Scourge also has like pointy teeth, I guess because he's a bad guy and he's supposed to look scary. So let's put some pointy teeth on him. Speaking of crossovers, we talked about KFC. We talked about Kemp's yogurt. I don't even know that brand. Kemp's yogurt. And we talked about adhesive bandages. What about getting yourself a go-kart or a scooter, a Segway, crossover with Segway, scooters and go-karts. So for example, I'm not going all the way through this, but like the Megatron electric scooter is $4,000 US. The Bumblebee go-kart is $2,299.99, as is the Optimus. So like not cheap. I don't know. Are you buying a go-kart? Do you need a $4,000 scooter? Maybe you do. Maybe you do. I don't know. We saw some Beachcomber in-hand images. I mean, I still love the Power of the Primes, but the new one looks great. There's no doubt about it. I do wish that on his legs we didn't have that bit of silver, because his legs didn't have that. They're just blue. So I don't like that. And I don't like the part that folds up kind of over part of what would be like the windshield. I find that jarring, but I feel like the robot mode is great. Wonderful. Very solid. Very little, if any, hollowness. I feel like the compromises were made with the front end of the Doom buggy, but it looks like he does have two seats. I like that attention to detail. So I'm not against it by any stretch of the imagination. To be honest with you, I'm looking forward to it. But to say that I think it's absolutely perfect, I don't know. I wish we had the knee down legs of the Power of the Primes, and maybe the rest up be the new guy. I don't know. We'll see when time comes. Maybe it won't bother me in hand. Did you miss out on getting the core class Starscream when it first came out? I don't know how you would miss it, because at least around here, he was around for ages, like a solid year and a half before he sold out. But he's getting a reissue. Like if you got Skywarp and if you got the little core Thundercracker, and for some inexplicable reason you missed Starscream, hey, you're going to get another opportunity because he's coming out in Evolution. Make of that what you will. New Jersey Collector Con or Comic Con or whatever it is going to be August the 12th and 13th. So if you live in Jersey, or I guess if you live in a state close to Jersey, I don't know, Pennsylvania, New York, they're close to Jersey, right? Anyway, if you want to go to Jersey, they have their con happening on August the 12th and the 13th. So make of that what you will. They usually have a good time, I do believe. The VNR Optimus Prime that we haven't heard a lot about. A few showed up on some weird site, and then a few showed up with Toy Snowman, and were gone like that. But he's been spotted in store, on shelf in, of all places, Peru. So yeah, I guess if you want a VNR Optimus, hightail it to Peru, right? Hightail it to Peru. The Sunbow Marvel Archive.com or whatever it is, that website, they have put up a whole bunch of G1 sheets and background art for, well, the G1 show. Very detailed. A lot of it is machinery and equipment, some character stuff, but again, it's just line work, right? It's not colored. They're just the line work sheets. Some stuff is explained on it. It's all on that site. Check it out if you want. I feel like maybe TFW, I think it was TFW, had like 5 or 6 of the images just to kind of wet your whistle with them if you really want to dig that deep. And we have some in-hand images of the YOLO Park AMK, Optimus Primal, Bumblebee, and Optimus Prime. I've talked about them like the last couple of weeks. YOLO Park is a promoting machine, and they always have been a promoting machine. No different here. Again, they look great from all angles, very detailed, tons of molding, lots of paint, don't transform, but boy, oh boy, do they have presence, you know, in a collection on a shelf. They would definitely be a talking piece. 20 centimeters, 20 centimeters, 16 centimeters. You can probably guess who those apply to, right? The 2 primes are the 20 and the Bumblebee is the 16. I mean, they look cool. They look cool. The detail is awe-inspiring. I respect it. That's what I'm going to say about that. I respect it. I already mentioned about Venus Terzo. I'm going to check in with you guys, and then we're going to go on here a little bit. Let's check in with you guys. Let's check in with you guys. Because I know you've been talking away here, and I know I have been getting on with some foolishness indeed, as we often do around these parts. I stopped right there. He wrestled in the, I would say, Ultra Megatron says he wrestled in the mid-'80s. I assume you're talking about Superstar Billy Graham. I wouldn't say mid-'80s. No, I would say more like late 60s through the 70s, maybe a bit in the very early 80s. By mid-'80s, he was really more manager. He might have wrestled once or twice, but not a lot. Not a lot in the mid-'80s. He trained a bit with Arnold, right? He was part of, he was part of that, like the Muscle Crew, right? He was part of that group, right? Hey, Ken. Oh, weird that the chat panel would take a long time to load. I don't know why that would be. Hey, Big M, if I didn't say it earlier. Hey, Manitoba. I get it, man. Per norm, you're on the road. Drive safe. We want you to get home safe and sound. What? G1 is Megatron? What? Okay. I'm not sure what that's referencing. I must have said something, so I'm just not sure what it's referencing. I started randomly putting .com in the toilet tank. What? What are you talking about? Just so after people have flushed the toilet, they have to ask themselves, when was the last time they ate com? Wah, wah, wah. Hey, Albert. Easy pass with the Megatron Rat Bat Pack. Yeah, same for me. Yeah, he's not a minor in my book, but he will be for some people, right? Megatron had a brother who's a minor who was killed, so that Megatron figure could be his brother. I guess. I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay. I've never heard of Megatron having a brother that was a minor. But you know what? Why not? Why not? Why not? Had my heart surgery 2 days ago. What? I had my heart surgery 2 days ago. So no AFib or the skip beats. Oh yes, I do remember you talking about that. Oh man, I didn't even know. I'm glad it went well though. Yeesh. Yeesh. Gotta stick to MMC's Megs, but it's just because it's MMC. Honestly, like my Megatron is still Toy World's Hegemon. I have that one as a backup because at some point I figure Hegemon's going to fail me, and I'm still going to want a Megatron. And if it never fails me, cool, all the better. But if it does, then this will be my Megatron. He kind of like lives in the bag right now because he's my backup Megatron. Hey Marcus, I have MMC wrap out already. Okay, well then there you go. Like you're probably set, right? I did pick up Senator Shockwave though. I like what they did with the Seeker mold. That's fair. That's fair. Hey Warren. They're really getting their mileage out of that Scourge mold and that Seeker mold, man. On both counts. Maybe Senator Ratbat could be used as Predacon Ratbat, like Predacon Ravage. I mean, I guess. But like, here's the thing. Like, I have several hundred here in my collection. I don't really need to go trying to like find ways to squeeze characters in that I don't have any tie to at this point, and I really don't have the room for it. If it's not something that's important, then I don't see me just picking it up for the heck of picking it up at this point. Right? I'm sure some stuff will come along. But like as last I knew, like the listings aren't even up on Amazon.ca, and like I really don't want this enough to pay shipping from the US. You know what I mean? But I think they're great. Like I said, I think they're great. I just don't think they're for me, but I do think that they're great. I pre-ordered both sets, but may sell my Siege Megatron and the Orion in this set with Shockwave. Well, I mean that's fair if that's what you want to do. Good luck to you selling it. You know. As we go down here a bit, and I know I'm skipping some stuff, guys. It's just so I don't get bogged down. We're making pretty good time here tonight. Hey, Lance, happy to see you here, buddy. Yeah, that's Shockwave, the evil Cyclops from Cybertron. You know, and I think he underwent Impurata as like to make a point. Like I feel like that's what it was. Like I don't know. The motivation didn't sit right with me. It just I don't know. I'm not gonna bog down. If you like it, cool, get it. Another pack I'm skipping. Hey, John. Hey, Tony. I haven't heard from Input in, I don't know, a couple of weeks, I guess. No, I haven't. Maybe Senator Shockwave could be a SG Shockwave or an SG Decepticon Seeker. I mean, again, I guess you could. I'm not doing it, but yeah, I don't see why you couldn't, Keldeo. It's one of those things like, if it ever happened in my hands, then cool. Like I'd find a way to use it, but like I don't think I'm going to go hunting for it. But yeah, I mean, you've got some creative ideas there for sure. There's no reason why any of that couldn't work. To be honest with you, it's all good ideas. Hey, Joel. Let's see as we go down here a bit. Data Clerk was a Transformers Prime theme, and yeah, Orion was an officer in IDW. Yeah, that's why I found the Data Clerk. I knew the Data Clerk was a Prime thing, and that's why I found it so weird that they call them Data Clerk Orion packs when it's a reference to IDW. I'm like, oh well, okay, whatever. It's weird, but whatever. It's not the hill I'm gonna die on, man. I could use that Orion with some upgrades. Could be a generic Autobot or Shatterglass Decepticon, I guess. I feel like you're trying to shoehorn an awful lot of ideas in here. I mean, they're all valid. They're all fine. I just feel like a lot of them are shoehorned. No worse than what I've done, though. I've shoehorned a lot of stuff. So who am I to talk, right? Pots that live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones at kettles, right? Figure that one out. Going to a barbecue. G1. Yeah, I guess. Oh, I got an oversized hound from AliExpress. It's sweet. Interesting. Anyone get their Shatterglass Grimlock? I didn't because they don't deliver here. So But I mean, I would imagine it's good. Why wouldn't it be? The studio series Grimlock is amazing. Why wouldn't the Shattered Glass one be amazing, right? Plus, it looks like Trypticon. Come on. If you wonder why I looked over there, it's because Trypticon's over right there. Wardon set equals get it. Yeah, I mean, I love that Wardon set myself. But again, like there will be people who will say, I don't know this Dion guy. That doesn't look like my Orion packs. Like there will be people that won't want that because it's not theirs. You know what I mean? I get it. I got my set from Aussie Collectibles, and they're now out of stock. Okay. I got mine from GameStop on the shelf. I don't know how it's coming out in the US. I think if you would, like, it's cool that you got it. I don't know why you just didn't wait. It's going to come out. We're not like those fans who says you can't be a Transformers fan because I'm not an IDW. Not like, I don't know why anyone would say you can't be a Transformers fan because you don't like this or you don't like that. Everyone likes something. I just don't like when people try to force what they like on me. Like I've had so many people who have told me I'm wrong because I don't like Unicron Trilogy. I hate it. I think it's poorly done. I think it's terribly done. I don't think it's memorable. And I don't like the characters. But that's me. It's not an attack on anybody else. You like what you like. I don't have to like it. Same with IDW. I don't think the writing is good or the editing. I don't know which it is. Maybe it's both. I don't like the ideas. When I hear a bad idea and I'm like, where did that come from? Somebody says, well, it was an IDW. I'm like, there you go. Like nothing about it lands with me. People are like, Sins of the Records is brilliant. It's passable. It's readable, but brilliant? You really need to read some literature. Dark Cybertron had its moments, but again, it was very plotting pace for what I like when I read. It's not for me. And I love comic books. It's just not for me. If it is for you, cool. Pick these sets up. The molds are fantastic. Get them. Enjoy your life, man. See, there you go. Like Ken, I'm glad. I love the IDW series. I don't care for the relationship angles, but I did care for telling new stories. See, so Ken likes it. I'll sit back and I'll say I can't imagine why he likes it, but he might look at me and I might say, hey, the end of Beast Wars is Beast Machines. I get that it's esoteric and I get that it's a hard watch until about the third or fourth time. Then it starts to make sense. And once it starts to make sense, you realize, man, this is brilliant. But a lot of people would say, how could you sit through it that much? It's terrible. So, something for everyone, but you can't please everyone, right? I'm just glad that they use good molds because I was like, oh man, these sets are based on IDW and that's not for me. I want to say something good about it. And then I saw the actual like figures and I'm like, man, these are great. They're all of them excellent molds. I can't imagine why any of them would be a bad pickup. If you're tied to those characters, I think you 100% owe it to yourself to get it. There's one relationship angle that I would have liked more of a story for Skids and Nautica. See, like, I can remember getting that pack with that Nautica in it. I don't know the character. I know next to nothing about her. I sold it for $20. I think 25. I don't know. Cardboard bots bought it. She meant nothing to me. So I just, here's the price of a deluxe. It must have been maybe 20 because it was like, here's the price of a deluxe. There you go. Give me that. And that's what he did. And it was great. And his daughter was happy. And I was happy that she was happy. Right? I'm surprised we haven't gotten another of her, though, because she seems to have a cult following. Maybe one day. Yeah, it's an Amazon exclusive. Yeah, great. Just great. Yeah, they are a major headache. Amazon's terrible. Other than these exclusives, like I don't buy anything off of it. Like I literally use Amazon for nothing. If it wasn't for Transformers exclusives, I don't even think I'd have an account because I don't like it. Yeah, the exclusives. Well, I mean, we done the countdown of the pet peeves, right? What was number one? Just saying. Guys talking about the exclusives. Burning Convoy was a thing in Beast Wars 2. Yeah, right. Beast Wars 2, which is weird. That's tied in with the movie, but hey, whatever. Yeah, and I get it. Yes. Beast Wars 2 in the Beast Wars second one. An OVA is a Japanese term for a movie. Yes, I know that. And I know that there was the Beast Wars 2 movie, but that's not what this is tied to. This is specific. You have to have a ticket to Rise of the Beasts. I just find it weird that they would say, bring your Rise of the Beast ticket to get something that's related to Beast Force 2. It's jarring to me. Hey, Ed. The listing I saw, I guess that's a lie. I'll go back, Ed. I didn't see a listing for the, probably just the article just said SSEXTT. And I was like, what's this? And I went and I looked at it and it was both of those. Either way, even if being like a Kingdom EX is weird. It's weird. I don't know why you would have a ticket from Rise of the Beast. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me as all. I want to go to Toronto. Food? Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. Okay. Hong Kong opened a Transformers restaurant in Causeway Bay. Yeah, I talked about that a while ago. Oh, visited. Hey, yeah, cool. That's pretty neat that you actually know someone who went there. That's neat. Making Transformers finger licking good. KFC Shockwave. See? Herbs, not herbs. Yes, it is herbs. It's like what is it, 11? Is it 11 or 12? Herbs and spices. I don't know. Do people say herbs? I don't know. Now that I think about it, you're right. People do say herbs. Here, there's a specific community where they always are famous for dropping the H's. But they'll pick them up on words where they shouldn't pick them up. It's like it's a running, I don't want to say running joke, but it's a running kind of, oh yeah, it's a running joke. It's a running joke. My dad does it too. My dad is always dropping his H's and it drives me nuts. Yo, play for Transformers. Yogurt, use the power of the Schwartz. Yeah, Transformers, yogurt. Whatever, man. Yogurt. Love Amazon, including discount. Yeah, you got a reason, John, to love Amazon. I get it, man. Amazon, John. I get it. Not all of us got those discounts. Not all of us get our orders. That's my problem. Like, I feel like if I order something from there, it's hit or miss if I'm going to get it. I will say this, though. In Canada, luckily, our stuff still comes in nice, solid boxes and well packaged, which is nice. Because I've seen a lot of places in the States that that's not the case, apparently. We need the RV from Spaceballs. Man, why? Not that I got a problem with being on the topic of Spaceballs, but did we get here because of yogurt? Is that why we got here? Is that why we got the Spaceball? Lone Star. Is that why we got the Spaceballs? Studio Series 86 Starscream with mini coronation accessories. Studio Series 86. I should go to the con in Jersey. Never been to any type of con before. I feel ya. Hey, Blue. Let's get down here a little bit. Have some Dreamwave comics, but didn't read them, so they're in my boxes. I remember trading a Helicopter Drift for Cyclonus and Nightstick. I think you traded up. That Cyclonus Nightstick was brilliant. As well as buying a Wheeljack. It was 2.5 to 1 buy. Sounds like a good deal. Hey, Dragonfly. Internet is getting spotty for you and YouTube keeps freezing. Oh, no. That's terrible. On the road. You're always on the road. That is funny. My dad is from a city in the Netherlands where they drop their age. Really? Interesting. Interesting. And funny enough, the city here, or not, it's not a city, it's a town. It has a French name, Port de Grave. Port de Grave. But I mean, it's not a French population there. It's just that was the name, and they dropped their H's. It's just, I don't know. Shout out to Port de Grave. I'd be down for a Mega Maid. I love the joke at the end of Spaceballs. Boy, still on Spaceballs. She's not a spaceship. She's a transformer. Oh, dear. Yeah, Mega Maid. We all would like to see Mega Maid. Going on. Rise of the Beast bio cards came out. Now, normally I'm not one to really give a hoot about bio cards. What? With a kick butt back. With a kick butt back. Yeah, right. It is a great movie. You're right. But a couple of interesting things came up when I looked at the bio cards, and I actually did read through them. Most people would just skim. So I looked at the Optimus Primal bio card. Apparently, he is a 13-foot tall gorilla, so he's a big gorilla, right? These are not Maximals that have beast modes and are just the size of those actual animals, right? They're not tiny and diminutive like they were in Beast Wars. They're big. He's a 13-foot tall silverback gorilla. Air Razor is a scout. Makes sense. Cheetor is the size of a small truck. And they actually talk about how like everything he does is in a blur. I'm sure that that's a tip of the hat to the character of Blur, because I feel like Cheetor is going to. I feel like when we see Cheetor, we're going to be like, there's a lot of Blur elements in here. He's like the animal version of Blur. However, he's still noted as being kind of quick to act. He's young. He's impetuous, which is very much like Cheetor. So I'm interested to see how his personality plays out. Rhinox apparently is 8,000 pounds. Big boy. He is a big boy. Dude might want to go on a diet. Oh, that water's good. Scourge. The whole bio, the whole thing is terrifying. Everything about him is terrifying. He's still known as being a hunter. And Freezer isn't one character. He has basically a bunch of Freezers, and they're like insectoid. So like they're like little minion followers of Scourge. He's been a herald of Unicron for thousands and thousands of years. He has ushered in nothing but chaos, death, destruction for thousands and thousands of years. Decepticons are bad. Terracons are even more deplorable. So, sure, he's going to be a bad guy. I'm sure he's going to be a bad guy. And I have no doubt that part of the reason he's a bad guy is because his leader, Unicron, probably punishes him and the Terracons brutally when they fail him. In fact, that's alluded to. But Scourge, yeah, he's going to be terrifying. What am I doing here? Unicron. I like that for Unicron under like combat abilities. Eats planets and all life on it. I mean, if you're going into combat, that's a pretty good ability to have. Just saying. He sends Scourge to get. Now, I thought this was interesting. So Unicron is sending Scourge to get a key to open a portal so that he can take out his nefarious plans. I told you guys 4 months ago that they would be on the search for it. I thought it was keys. I thought it was more than one. Looks like that part of the leak is also true. However, it's not just as simple as getting keys to open a portal for Unicron to bring out his plan, which apparently is supposed to be something along the lines of him coming back in the past so that like he never gets trapped within Earth and stuff. Because a lot of people have been like, how is he out? He's supposed to be in the Earth, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, do you understand how time works? He was in the Earth in 2017. This is 1994. And apparently after Rise of the Beast, there was more that happened. And he did come out of the Earth. And he was beaten. But apparently all that is done off screen. That's what was leaked. Make of it what you will. But every time I see something that's a little nugget like this, I'm like, you know what? I'm starting to think the leak was accurate, man. I also like this. Unicron can possess his victims. That's terrifying. Because you never know where Unicron is, right? If he's the devil of Transformers, then you never know where the devil is until he's about to devour you. That's terrifying. If they pull it off right, man, just the bad guys in this and trying to overcome them will be something special. Battle Trap is noted as being an enforcer, and he's described as being blood orange. I've never seen orange blood. Maybe you have, but I haven't. Nightbird is very much like the Nightbird we know. She's a ninja. Optimus Prime, he thinks the key could be their way back to Cybertron. So I don't know why you'd be trying to get back there. You ran away from there because you're basically lost. I'm not sure why you're trying to get back there. So I don't know. Regroup. B is still a scout, much like Eraser. Mirage challenges authority. Again, he's young, impetuous. I think Mirage and Cheetor will probably get along a bit or clash. RC, she's a sharpshooter. Thought that was interesting. She's a sharpshooter. I think RC is going to be a really engaging character. I think when this is done, I think she's going to come out as one of the fan favorite characters from this. Wheeljack is a master mechanic. Stratosphere. What's his role? Transport plane. Transport plane. He's also a senior citizen. And then there were ones for Noah and Lena, but they're humans. Who cares about them? Just saying. We saw some images of the Legacy Evolution Swoop and Scar. Again, they're not for me. Maybe they are for you. It'll be interesting to see how these are adapted, if they're adapted or if they're just straight up repaints when it comes to Dino King. Time will tell. Do you like Oreo cookies? Oreo cookies are delicious, right? You know, you got the chocolate, and then you got that nice, I don't know, the cream. I don't know what we call that. That's in the middle, but like it's delicious, right? Well, in Peru, we are getting Rise of the Beast Oreos. And they're like regular Oreos, except on the cookie itself, you have a mix of Autobot symbols on some cookies, Decepticon symbols on others, Maximal logos on others, and Terracon logos as well. So they're basically cookies with the 4 insignias on them, right? Buzzworthy, Scorponok, and Sandspear. I mean, yeah, we saw some images of that. Cool. I don't know if it's out. I like Scorponok. I like Sandspear. Cool with it. Rise of the Beast, Scourge and Scorponok combiners also shown. A lot of people said the Scourge is a reuse of the Optimus. It is, but it doesn't look like he has elbows. The Optimus had elbows. I don't think the Scourge does. Put on a Scorponok like a hat and a jacket, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't that impressed with it myself. The Battlemaster Optimus Primal out in the US. Voyager Rhinox out in the US. That's the mainline Voyager Rhinox. Out in the US. Beast Mode Bumblebee out in the US. Specifically, that one was sighted in Virginia. So if you live in Virginia and you want a Bumblebee that has a bird or something in his chest, then go get that, I guess. Rise of the Beast. I don't even know how to say this guy's name. Aplink. Originally, he's the BotCon 2000 Transmetal Optimus Prime repaint. But in one of the TV spots that came up right at the very beginning, a lot of people are saying, hey, that looks like that character going into battle. Is it him? Is it a version of Optimus Primal where the CGI just wasn't finished yet or what? I don't know. Maybe we will have a surprise Maximal. Time will tell. I really don't know the character. Like I said, I wasn't even sure how to say the dude's name. But you know what? If you include that character, because I don't have him, I'm not getting another Optimus Primal. Not interested. I have no reason to get it. I have an Optimus Primal up there. I'm good. I have no reason to get the Rise of the Beast Optimus Primal. Again, not that it's bad. I'm sure it's great. Looks like fun. Give me that mold as this character, Aplink or Aplink. I'm going to say Aplink. And I'll probably get it because I'll be like, I don't have him. Cool. Why not get him? Right? That's where I'm to. I'm to the point, like, give me characters I don't have. A bunch of TV spots. We've seen the poster for D-Box. We've seen the poster for Dolby. We've also seen a 2024 wall calendar for Rise of the Beast, which I guess is neat. Deluxe Wheeljack, the one that's in the 3-pack. The Deluxe Wheeljack by himself is out in Australia. So if you live in Australia, neat, I guess. And you want that Wheeljack from the movie? I don't. I'd like that mold, but I'd have to name it something else because it's not Wheeljack. Nothing about it is ever going to be Wheeljack. Stop trying to make it happen. Remember Mean Girls? What is it, Fetch? That's like, stop trying to make Fetch happen. It's not going to happen. Well, same thing here. Stop trying to make Wheeljack happen. It's not going to happen. Just saying. And before anybody gets on their high horses, you just hate it because it's not G1. No, I hate it because we have Wheeljack in the Bumblebee movie. He is clearly defined as to what he looks like. And while he is certainly not G1, boy, oh boy, you look at it and you at least know, yep, that's Wheeljack. You look at this and there's, other than somebody telling you it's Wheeljack, nothing about it would ever in a billion, zillion, trillion years lead one person, not one fan the world over would ever guess that that's Wheeljack if you didn't already know. Nobody would ever look at it and say, oh, geez, oh, yeah, that's Wheeljack. Nobody would ever say that. I don't believe it. And I would like stake my reputation, stake my life on it. Dr. Wu showed off their Shatterglass Dirge and Ramjet. No, sorry, Thrust and Dirge. Sorry, Thrust and Dirge. So the Thrust, the Shatterglass Thrust is green and black, very much like Armada Thrust, really. And the Shatterglass Dirge is yellow and black. Again, they're the little tiny Micromaster ones that would go with like the Shatterglass. I talked about this last week, the Shatterglass Cosmos and the Shatterglass Ramjet. So again, they're getting their mileage. You can't blame them for it. Speaking of third party, Newage is releasing a volcano base, 60 centimeters wide by 26 centimeters deep. 2,603 pieces. So do you put this together yourself? Do you have to put together 2,500 pieces to get what is essentially the arc in a volcano, like a bit of a diorama thing? It's cool. If you got the patience for it, go for it. It has an opening gate. You open that by turning the arc's turbine, which I think is clever. If you go in on an early bird bonus is basically a scanning Optimus Prime. So it's their Optimus mold, the Newage Optimus mold, in kind of like a translucent blue, because I guess he's scanning an alt mode, right? I think it's a really interesting thing to do, like a diorama type of set. I don't know what it retails for or if we even have those details, but I think it looks really cool. I think I saw those images on T-Formers. I believe I saw them on T-Formers, if I'm not mistaken. We got all that out of the way. Now, before we go into the live stream reactions, because that's the last thing we got, let's do the trivia. No pickups this week. I thought I was going to get something today, and I went after work to look at a store that I thought it was in, and it wasn't there. So anyway, no pickup this week. Can't have something every week, man. Can't have something every week. Though some people get stuff every day. Here we go. Are we ready? I'm going to do the trivia, checking with you guys, then I'll react to the live stream stuff, or at least the stuff we haven't reacted to yet. Here we go. What did Shockwave do? Speaking of Senator Shockwave, what did Shockwave do on his first day as a senator? So, like his first day as a senator, what did Shockwave do? Did he A, end Impurata? Did he B, change his color scheme? Did he C, hold on, I got to be able to see what I got here. Did he C, vote to bring back Nova Prime's spark splicing project? Or D, did he found, I guess, the Giaxian Academy of Advanced Technology? So did he end Impurata? Did he change his color scheme? Did he vote to bring back Nova Prime's spark splicing? Or did he, or was he, I guess, the founder of the Giaxian Academy of Advanced Tech? What did he do his very first day? I'm going to go back up and see what you guys have been saying, and then we'll get down around those answers again in a moment. I could probably go through this pretty quick because you guys are really caught up now on Spaceballs. I mean, like, I like Spaceballs, but like I haven't seen it in 30 years. Like I would not be able to. I wouldn't even remember Lone Star's name. Like I haven't seen it since I was about 10, maybe 15. Haven't seen it since then. And nothing against it. It hasn't come around my way is all. Why not have a Transformer of Mega Man? Oh, wait, the new Nemesis is the next best thing. Brooks predicted it. Let's not forget. Let's hope she won't suffer BPS. I've seen so far 3 ads for. I haven't seen any ads other than them being posted on, I guess like the news sites and stuff. Like on TV, I haven't seen any ads. It's going to be an upgrade kit. Blue Raccoon. I saw a red Bumblebee. Unicron. Can't beat them, eat them. I mean, right? Our world is in danger. Oh God! Even like I love Gary Chalk, and I just hear him say, "Our worlds are in danger." I'm like, oh my God! Oh, this is so bad. It sounds so bad. Back to the Future logic. Actually, no, it's not really Back to the Future logic. It's more like if you understand how time travel works in the MCU, it's more like that. Or if you understand going back and making a significant change in the past so that the future now that we know isn't the future that's going to happen, like happened in Star Trek when they went back and they blew up Vulcan. Well, if you blow up Vulcan, then everything that we know on TV, everything in the TV universe, like it all still happened because you had to get to that point in the future to go back in the past. So all of that still happened, but now you've changed something in the past, which means the entire tapestry of the future can be rewritten, which is what splinters off to become a different universe, right? Part of a multiverse. If you don't know how it works, or if I sound like I'm jumbling it, go back, watch my review of, I think it was Endgame, because in it, with a drawing, I specifically explain how the time travel works. And I think it's going to be much the same thing with Rise of the Beast, which is an elegant way of doing it. But you got to know how that works. Does Scourge have the chainmail neck cape in the movie? Wondering why they have it in the Studio Series. So I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't even know what Studio Series 1 really looks like. So I guess so. I guess he has the chainmail thing. Why would they put it on the Studio Series if he doesn't have it in the movie? Did Michael Bay set up the first? What? Did Michael Bay set up his first movies for these movies to make it actually coherent? I doubt it. I doubt that. I think Michael Bay took it a movie at a time. I think they've always taken it one movie at a time, right? See what happens. If this bombs, we'll, either not do more or we'll do an about face and change things, right? Unicron possesses Scourge. You can't defeat me. I think he's going to do more than. I don't think he's going to bother possessing Scourge. He already has Scourge for whatever reason. I'm concerned about him possessing humans or animals or Decepticons or corpses or Autobots or Maximals. That's what I'm concerned about him possessing. I'm not concerned about him possessing the bad guys. They're already the bad guys. You can get tangerines that are a dark red. What? That are a darker red than orange, hence the blood orange? Weird. I've never heard of that in my life. The ready-to-read books does spoilers why Optimus wants to go back to Cybertron. I'll explain a bit. And you don't need to explain any of it. It's fine. I'm just going to watch the movies. I don't need it explained. Again, like I've heard that those books got spoilers and stuff. I don't know. Again, I think I've gone through enough spoilers in, like I said, in the last 4 months. I want mint Oreos. Then go buy mint Oreos. Stratosphere chicken legs will be on KFC. That's funny. You tear the Oreos apart and double stack to get away if you don't have double stuff. That's hilarious. I love it. Oh, put the cookies in the yogurt, guys. Put the cookies in the yogurt. That's disgusting. I want to try it now, though. Not a fan of mint. Might as well have 2 chocolate cookies with toothpaste in between. Well, I mean, that's, go for it, I guess. As we go down here a bit. Hey, Paul. I was saying ape leg, right? Or ape lick, ape link, right? Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't. I really don't. I don't know the character. I'll just say it. I don't know the character. It tickles me that we might get Ape Link in Rise of the Beast, but not major Beast Wars characters like Rat Trap and Black Arachnia. Yeah, my guess is that they just didn't want to give away the whole farm in the first movie. I don't for a second think this is going to be the end of seeing the beasts. Not for 1 second. I'd be shocked if this was the end of it. Wait till they debut Beast Wars Megatron. If you get anyone but David K, then forget about it. You've already failed your movie. It's not having him be Beast Wars Megatron. Look at the Netflix trilogy one and what Beast Wars Megatron was like in there. I was like, what? No, no. There's more than one Dennis. There could be more than one Wheeljack. Lazy name. Yeah, there's more than one Dennis, but I mean, come on, they're all just sort of pretenders, right? I just call Rise of the Beast Wheeljack. What? Winch line? Yeah, well, that works. And that's the thing. All you had to do, like, people are like, you're complaining about it. I don't think people understand. Like, Wheeljack's my guy. He's my favorite Transformer. So to see him done like this, yes, it bothers me because you're taking one of my favorites and basically ruining him. All you had to do was name him something else and use a name that we don't already have. Because if you had called him Prowl, or if you had called him, I don't know, Trax, I'd have the same problem and be like, no, it's not. Whalejack. That's funny. So go down here a bit. But I agree. I don't like using the same names, right? Maybe it's to explain all of the moving bits. Some assembly, but nothing major. Maybe. B, C, C, D. Oh, that jumped way down. A, B, C, D. Ultra Megatronus guessed them all. Hasbro used the name I use for my custom Junkion on the new official Junkion. Oh, yeah, really? The Trash Master or whatever it is? Cool. Stargate Continuum. Generally, I am not a fan of time travel because it encourages lazy writing. I love 2009 Star Trek, but it's still lazy writing. I can't agree with that at all. I love time travel. They're some of my favorite Star Trek episodes, and I love time paradoxes. Same with Doctor Who. I love when they do time travel there too. Love it. But I mean, to each their own. I can't count lazy writing. But I do remember saying back in 2009 when the Star Trek movie was coming, I said to everyone then, I said the only way that this movie doesn't bomb and doesn't fail is if they somehow work it so that everything that's happened still happened. And that's exactly what they did. I was like, the way you did it is the only way fans were going to accept it. And if you know the Star Trek fandom and you have, you saw those discussions back in 2008, 2009, then you would know that, yeah, people were happy. Not that they didn't have their issues with the movie, but if you were going to do it, this was the only way to do it. And having Leonard Nimoy in that movie as the Spock that we all know, it was the only way to make it happen. It was the only way that it made any sense. I don't see, Joel, you're saying it's lazy. How? Like, Back to the Future is literally a whole trilogy that made a lot of money based on time travel. I don't think it's lazy. Actually, I think it's very difficult to write good time travel stories. I would say it's much harder than sticking to just a linear progression and everything happens after event after event after event. I think time travel is a lot harder. I think you're being too hard on it, dude. What do I call Unicron's minions? Heralds. They're the heralds of Unicron. Hey, Tommy. I just started season 2 of Picard, and it seems to deal with changing something in the past, and it makes I mean, and I liked season 2. A lot of people didn't like season 2 of Picard. I do. I liked all 3 seasons. I got an oversized Siege Megatron. Okay, cool. I'm so ready for Rise of the Beast. So am I. Like, I'm to the point. It's like, okay, stop already with the promo. We're like 3 weeks away. Just do the thing already. Cookie Monster's nearby. I'm definitely skipping some stuff, guys, and I apologize for that. What's up with the Combiner Wars Nova Prime in the thumbnail? I already talked about it, Elixir. You're going to have to go back to the beginning. But I'm glad that you knew it was Nova Prime. It was the discussion of the upcoming Nova Prime and what I think about it in relation to my custom. Yeah, I'm ready for Strange New World Season 2 as well, Ed. I'm right there with you, buddy. I love the first season. I thought it was great. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, also a time travel, story. Yeah, that's right. As we go down, get on with it. What? Okay. Anyway. So let's do the last thing and get out of here. My reactions to what came up on the live stream. So the rumor had been, and I said it last week, that it looked like the live stream was going to pretty strictly be the Robeson stuff. Thankfully, that wasn't right. We did not get any kind of update showing reveal or anything of Grimlock, which I found interesting. And we did get the Elite Optimus. It's just the Robeson Optimus, except he's smaller. That's my understanding. I don't know why this is a big deal. I don't even really know why they're doing it. I'm not going to lie. I didn't care about that. Just like I didn't care about the gaming chairs. I'm not getting a gaming chair. $300, $400, $500 for a gaming chair. If you're a hardcore gamer, do it. I don't care. So those I didn't care about, the Amazon 2-packs I've talked about, they're great. Don't care about them. So early on, I was like, oh, I don't know how this stream is going, at least for me. Don't get me wrong. There are people out there that's going to love the gaming chairs. Good on you. People out there that's going to love the Robeson stuff. Good on you. And people out there that's going to love those Amazon 2-packs. Good on you. Core Dark of the Moon Bumblebee. I mean, I didn't particularly think the pink Laserbeak was great. It's okay. It's the exact same thing in yellow. So, Deluxe 86 Brawn. It's okay. It's all right. I still like my Titans Return one. The new one looks okay. Huge backpack. And I feel like the part above his head is way too flat. I love the articulation. I like the lighter shade of green. I love the silver on the knees, as it should be. I don't like the green on his tummy where the hinge is. And I feel like the head is a complete miss. The head, I looked at it, I'm like, this looks like the Bumblebee movie head. It's not the Brawn I know. I think it's great. I think the head's really disappointing. But to each their own. Gamer, War for Cybertron Cliff Jumper. It looks from the neck down exactly like Bumblebee, like the War for Cybertron Bumblebee, but in red. The head on it, interestingly, looks like the, say, Transformers Prime Cliff Jumper head. So Prime Cliff Jumper head, War for Cybertron Bumblebee body. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I just don't kind of understand it, but whatever. We saw Gamer Megs. Splendid. He looks gorgeous. Man, if you got the Optimus, do yourself a favor and get the Megatron. He looks really, really splendid. We saw Voyager Rise of the Beast Rhinox. Looks all right. Looks okay. Again, I feel like the back end, where it's so obvious that it's just his legs kind of bent with the knees kind of the wrong way. I don't know. I feel like the front of it is more successful than the back of it. Voyager, Rise of the Beast, Optimus. Okay. Apparently this one's going to be a buzzworthy. I'm not really sure what's different about it, but okay, cool. So all of the early stuff, I looked at it and I'm like, the Brawn. I guess I might be in for the Brawn, and that was it. That's all I'm in for. But that doesn't mean I don't like the stuff. I think the Cliff Jumper and the Megatron are brilliant. I think the Optimus looks good. I don't think the core Dark of the Moon Bumblebee looks great. The Brawn is only okay to me at this point. I'm not blown away by it. I don't know. I was like, let's see what comes down the pipeline. And then we got the pipeline reveals and core Snarl. Again, I don't care because I'm not in for it, but it's about time. I'll say that for people who are in for it. It's about time. Then it gets interesting for me. Then it gets interesting with Bombshell. Yeah, buddy, do it. Give me Swoop, give me Bombshell, and then I'm mostly out. You're going to see a big slowdown then, because I've said it that the 86 Dinobots are kind of my when it comes to like buying a lot of stuff, they're kind of my swan song, and I'll be picking and choosing a lot more after that because of the prices. Honestly, because of Hasbro's pricing, I'm going to be picking and choosing a lot more. So Bombshell, excited about it, very excited about it. Strong Arm, very excited about it. Detritus, very excited about it. Cyberverse Shadow Striker, very excited about it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the Brawn, right? So say five. The Bludgeon, I mean, I assume it's the fantastic turn mold. I don't know if I need that again because I still have the movie Bludgeon. I can't remember what movie line he came out in now. Reveal the Shield, or he came out in Dark of the Moon, or Revenge of the Fallen, or whatever. The tank Voyager lad that looks like a skeleton. I don't know if I want to replace that or not because I really like that mold. So we'll see. We'll see. And again, this Bludgeon is going to be based on the comic book. I don't really care about the comic book, right? But I am in for Trash Master. I like the Junkions, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. I assume it's going to be a Mixmaster. I assume it's going to be a Motor Master, remold, reuse somehow, which does lend credence to the idea of a Junkion combiner that people have talked about. And then I think we knew this was coming. Leader Prime, Dreadwing. Naturally, that is going to be a recolor and a reuse of the Skyquake mold. It's a splendid mold. Really a splendid mold. It looks great in green and red. Why wouldn't it look great in blue and gold? I think that's his highlight, gold. Maybe some gray. I think what they actually showed in the stream was didn't blow me away. I think what's coming down the pipeline is far more exciting. I was more excited about the pipeline reveals than I was about anything that they showed. Take that for what you will. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, somehow we still made it to hour 17. I'm going to get out of here. I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate you coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you if you're in a position to help the channel to grow. Oh, by the way, I don't think I said it. The correct answer, I didn't either. I skipped it over. I got to do it. The correct answer for the trivia was D. He, on his very first day, founded the Giaxian Academy of Advanced Technology. For the record, he never ended Impurata. He underwent Impurata. He changed his color scheme regularly all the time. And when it comes to voting to bring back Nova Prime's spark splicing program, he voted to make that happen many times. It just kept getting voted down. Anyway,